You're watching Queen City Collaborative Rebel Radio. I'm your host and CEO, Gwendolyn Bork. Let's not waste any time and get right down to it. Hi, everyone. This is Gwendolyn, the CEO of Queen City Collaborative and host for today's episode. Today we have Stephanie Haefner. She is the owner for Fairytale Journeys, and she also has a couple other businesses up her sleeve that we'll be able to talk about today. But our goal with Stephanie is just to be able to talk about who she is, her industry of expertise, and what she can offer our viewers moving forward throughout this time, this very precedented time in our lives. So, Stephanie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, first things first, who are you? What's your title? What's your organization? What do you specialize in? And what's this other business that you have?
I am a travel agent and a travel planner with Fairytale Journeys Travel Agency. We have our home base is in Alabama. We have agents all over the country. We specialize in Disney destinations. It's Disney World, Disneyland, and the Disney Cruise Line. Mostly what I do is I'm a travel planner. Anybody can book a trip online and do their own thing, but I specialize in the planning of your days and itinerary and booking dining and fast passes and things like that. But also I'm here to be your expert and answer all of your questions and do the research. There's a lot that goes into planning a trip like this, and a lot of people don't realize how much there is. So that's what I am here for, is to help with all of that and make it smooth and stress-free. Let's see, what else?
What's your other hidden talent?
Oh, my other hidden talent. I actually am a published author. I do have some books out there, romantic fiction. So it's a lot of fun.
So we're going to definitely get into that as well, so people know where to find your books for who is ever watching. But I guess, I've gone to Disney twice. I know my kids have gone with grandparents a couple times. What advantage does someone have really working with you versus, trying to do this themselves?
Well, the biggest advantage is I do all the work. If you are trying to plan a trip to Disney World on your own, and if you Google Disney World or best tips for Disney World, you're going to get millions of hits on Google, and it can become incredibly overwhelming and stressful. I've had a lot of people come to me and say that they did exactly that. They Googled and they got so overwhelmed that they had to step away because they just didn't know what they wanted. They don't know where they want to stay, when they want to go, because there's so many different opinions out there on, especially, bloggers and different things on Google. So there's a lot of information and there's a lot of incorrect information. So as a professional, travel agent, travel planner, I have the most up-to-date information. I stay on top of any news, anything new they are doing, any new projects that they have. I keep on top of that. Closings, refurbishments, I keep on top of all of that for my clients.
So being in your field, I would imagine I'm a financial advisor, and there's two different ways to even work with me. It's like we set up an account and set it and forget it. Any changes I make, there's transaction fees for that, and we move forward. Or there's like fee based, and whatever we choose together, we make as many changes as we need, and I get a little piece of that. You make out. When you make out, I make out. So is it more expensive to work with someone like you because you know all the deals, you know everything, and you're the expert. You're the expert. So why not, deliver that type of vacation for people? And the best experience they have is what pays, what gives you that fee. Or is it less expensive if they were to do it? I mean, just give me hey, everybody's worth money. So how does that look for the typical Disney planner that maybe think that they're the experts?
Well, booking your trip through me costs absolutely nothing more than booking on your own. The prices I get they come directly from Disney. So it's exactly the same as you would find if you had gone on to their website and priced out the exact same trip yourself. The biggest difference with booking through me is I will keep an eye on all of the promotions. So if Disney releases a promotion, which they often do, I am on top of that. I am on my computer. Sometimes at the last time it released at like 4 a.m. So I was on my computer. I was applying that promotion to my clients who were already booked. So I was saving them money. Whereas if they had booked on their own, they would have to, it would be their responsibility to call Disney and try and get that promotion for their package. And sometimes that means waiting on hold, sometimes 3 or 4 hours. I've had to do it when the website crashes. I have to call in. I've done it many times, and I do it. That's what I do for my clients. In regard to how I get paid, Disney does work in a commission into those trips. It's in there whether you use a travel planner or not. So a portion of that package is a percentage that comes to me. If you don't use a travel planner, Disney just keeps that money. So that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is you're paying that kind of, you're not paying it. It's nothing that you're paying in addition, but it's already worked in.
It's already built in the price. Well, yeah, you tell me something new. Okay. So something unprecedented happened in your field as a Disney planner. What was that as this health crisis started to escalate?
Oh, it's been really tough. Honestly, I remember the exact day everything started falling apart, for lack of a better term. I was supposed to leave for my own Disney World trip the next morning. So this was Thursday, the 12th of March. That's when everything started. We were hearing all these. At first, it was just rumors that they were closing the parks, and then I did find out. Late, probably about 7 o'clock at night, that Disney World was going to be closing on the 16th. And I was leaving. I had a flight out at like 6 a.m. on the 13th. So I had gone home and I had to try and figure out, I'm like, am I still going? What am I doing? And it was for a conference. So it was my entire agency was going. And we ended up canceling everything. So on top of having to deal with all of my clients, and that I had to deal with canceling all of my own reservations. And then right away, I only had a few people that were traveling like in the immediate future. So I only had a few people to take care of right away. But there were a lot of clients that were traveling within, and at that time, we didn't know how long it was going to be closed. Everything was just so up in the air. So, but that's what I am here for. I am here to take care of all of those things and canceling the reservations and making sure everything is properly credited. Like Disney was offering, full credit to everyone. So I was making sure everything was canceled properly and everyone was getting their proper credits. All the people that had dealt with booking on their own, or even not even just Disney, but there is a mess with like third-party travel sites where people were not able to get a hold of anyone, so they couldn't even cancel their trips. It was basically a huge mess for a lot of people if you did not have a travel agent and you had booked through like a third party. But as far as everything was changing. It was kind of a mess for like the next week or so, just trying to get a handle on everything because it was changing so quickly, and trying to stay on top of all of the cancellation policies and between the airlines and Disney and all the different things. But that's what I did. I took care of everything for my clients so they didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that was going to be my second question. You answered it, which was basically, Disney does something that's never done before. It's closed down, right? Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to hear you say that they were willing to give everybody, full reimbursements, and you having those direct links directly to those people in charge obviously is an advantage. It was an advantage for one of the most, historic times, I'm sure, in Disney's life. And here you were navigating those waters and making sure that your clients were taken care of. So that's good news, because I think we get to see a lot of somebody's character in a business during times like this. And it's good to know that Disney backs what they do, and they back you as a planner for being an expert in what they offer. So that was good. That was good to hear. So, what's the news on the street? What's happening? Do you get emails? Do you get some insider information from Disney to say, hey, this is what we're looking at moving forward. These are policies and procedures we're going to put into place. Like this is going to be the plan the minute that things start reopening. Have you gotten any kind of information like that?
Disney is very close to the vest with information. Like they will not release anything, any kind of information, whether it has to do with something in the parks or a new ride or anything. They do not release any information until they are absolutely positive. So right now we really don't have much because they don't want to say, oh, we're going to reopen the parks on June 1st and then it not happen. And then they have to, go back on that. But I do know my agency owner is part of a group of, like a small group of agency owners. And so she does get some information firsthand. Disney has put together a team. They are working together with some government officials in Florida, as well as Universal Studios, because I mean, they're all working together to figure out how they are going to reopen, what that's going to look like, when they can do it. I mean, I think the when is the big thing. They really don't know when yet, because we kind of have to wait until, the state governments decide that, we can reopen. But they are working on it. They have teams in place. As soon, there's always rumors everywhere. There's bloggers, and there's tons of speculation. I do not listen to any of that. I only listen to Disney. When I hear the official word from Disney, that's when I contact my clients. But until I hear any word from Disney, we're kind of just in a holding pattern.
Okay, awesome information. So the next question would be, all of our little spring break goers that had trips to Florida and, had this big Disney vacation travel or planned. And, I've seen so many posts on Facebook and social media saying, oh my gosh, guys, look at flights are $50 round trip. And we know that the airline industry is taking a big hit right now. So flights are way down. Traveling is way down. What's your best advice to any of our, Disney fans that really want to get that vacation rebooked or planned moving forward?
Well, like you said, the airfare right now is amazing. So I know a lot of the airlines, especially Southwest, which is my favorite, because regardless of what's going on, I mean, they've been fantastic with flights right now. But even normally their cancellation policy is you can cancel and you can reuse those funds. You have a year from the date of original purchase. So there really is no, risk in booking a trip later in the year. I have several clients who have moved their trips who were originally supposed to travel in March, April, and May. They have moved them to later in the year, summer and fall. Some have moved to next year, but a lot of people still wanted to go this year. And it's absolutely a great opportunity to still, make those memories and have those trips. Disney has been wonderful. Like I already mentioned about the cancellations, and they're allowing, people to cancel and get full refunds. Their general cancellation policy is full refund up until 30 days prior to arrival. So you can, regardless, you could cancel and get that money back. After that, there is a cancellation fee of $200, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that bad. And then the rest would be a refund. But with everything going on, they might continue to do full refunds even after that 30-day period. So, Disney is wonderful. They take care of their guests.
Okay. That was going to be my question. It's like, what's the risk, right? I mean, yeah. if someone had, something planned for May, now they want to push it to July, and are they going to lose money? So, okay. So if it's 30 days or if it's over 30 days or more, they can reschedule that with absolutely no problem. Yes. And then, how simple is it? Is it as simple as calling you like, hey, Stephanie, we see you, we're watching the news. It looks like things are getting pushed out. We still got our 30 days. We're within that window. Is it as easy as just making a call and saying, hey, this is our new date, just switch everything for us?
Absolutely. I'm getting a lot of calls from clients, and a lot have already moved. And then I'm already fielding a lot of people who are on the fence and if they want to move their dates. And it is as simple as me making one phone call and saying, hey, we need to move this trip to November. Here's the new dates. And as long as there's availability at the resort, because obviously it does depend on availability, but as long as there's still availability at the resort they want, it's just a simple date change, and that's it. All the funds transfer over. There may be a change in price because it, obviously the pricing does vary throughout the year depending on, the holidays and things like that affect pricing. So the price may change a little, but it's absolutely simple to change it. We can do that. We can do that 5 times if you need to. If we move it and then we got to move it again, it's no problem at all. The funds all still transfer with it.
Okay, great. So how are you handling clients right now? And then we're going to move on to your second stream of business. Like, are you doing Zoom calls? Are you just having conversations with people over the phone? How are you handling people who would want to be interested in getting a hold of you and having that conversation?
So far, it's mostly been emails, texting, Facebook messaging, and phone calls. I have not had anyone do a Zoom call yet, but I'm absolutely open to that. I love using this virtual technology. It's fantastic. But so far I haven't, but I'm absolutely open to that. Especially if I was just meeting someone for the first time and just sitting down to have that initial conversation. I think doing a face-to-face is often, great, especially with Zoom. I can share my screen so we can look at quotes and I can show them different things. So that I think is absolutely wonderful. But other than that, it's mostly been, the usual forms. I'm fielding a lot of calls on, rumors. That's a lot of rumors. People keep, I've heard this. What do you think?
Sure. So basically the message is people should just call you, right?
Yes.
Just call you. They need to
Absolutely.
call Stephanie and get, all of their concerns eased and, their trips booked because, hey, I think we're all going to need a break after this is over, a major stress reliever.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I want to get into we're going to spend a couple minutes on this other business that you have, and it is you being a published author. So how many books and where do we find them?
I have, there are 5 books. They are all digital. You can get them anywhere that digital books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. There's tons of other smaller little sites that, you can buy digital romance books from. So anywhere, I think, what's the Canadian, the Kobo, anywhere they sell ebooks.
And there's not these aren't just your typical romance novels. Like, I know that you specialize in a particular, a particular storyline. So what's the storyline that you gravitate towards in these books?
Oh, I love, and this is as a reader myself, I love something with a little bit of comedy, but also a little steamy. So that's what I write. I like a steamy romantic comedy type of book. So there's a lot of emotion and a lot of, sometimes some serious topics, but there's always humor running through all of it and the sexy stuff too.
So any plans for creating like a ebook, book club where, us women or whoever else wants to get involved and we set up a day a week or whatever to a day every other week to read this book in a book club and, just try to escape maybe some of our day-to-day normalcy. Any plans for anything like that coming up?
That would be a lot of fun. I did a book club once before, and it was so much fun getting together with those women to get their thoughts on my book and just kind of dissecting parts of it. And we had a lot of, this was in person. This was when we could still see people, and they made all food that coordinated with the book. It was a lot of fun. So I love talking to readers. So I would definitely be up for something like that.
All right. So all of our viewers out there, if you're interested in starting this 5-book series, we could start with the first one and do a Zoom call and, just read through it, right? Like normal book clubs do. I don't know. I might be interested too, Steph. So, hey, the minute we get this going or you get it going, hey, if there's anybody out there watching that's interested, I'll have all of Stephanie's contact information for both businesses, for Fairytale Journeys for the Disney planning, and also for her for her books as a published author. And if you got some insight or you're interested in doing a virtual Zoom book club, like let's reach out to her and let's push this forward, because I know way too many women that probably would be interested. All right. Well, listen, Stephanie, any last words? You know, you're a mom. I know that you're, you know, a local to Western New York. Any last words on what's gotten you through this health crisis? You know, what the positives of it, and maybe things that you're going to take with you forward after this is all over.
I think what's getting me through is just the thought of what's to come. I'm just staying positive and thinking about all the fun things I'm going to do later this year. I'm not thinking about that they might not happen. That's just not, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the trip I'm going to go on in August with my family and the concert I'm going to go to in September. And, you know, I'm thinking about all the great trips I'm planning for my clients and all the memories they're going to make. So I'm just looking forward. That's how I'm getting through each day by day. I'm just focused on the future and moving forward. That's all I can do.
I think that's great advice. You know, I mean, there are a lot of uncertainties and there's a lot of unknowns, but why speculate, right?
Mhm.
Like, let's just put our head down, stay positive, stay focused, you know, control what we can control, and use this as leverage to make ourselves better, build ourselves up, create stronger relationships, make phone calls to people that maybe we would have normally text, and just be better in all areas of our business, so in our personal world. So Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for, you know, your service, and our local Lancaster Depew community for being on the board of directors. I serve with you on that board and appreciate your input and your time as we also try to extend ourselves as a board and as an organization to help our small businesses and not-for-profits in the community. So thank you for that. I really do hope to see you on a future episode and a future Zoom romance novel book club.
Sounds fun. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll see you next time.